Hello, high levelers, Rio Daniel here. And in this video, what I'd like to do is give you some very basic fundamental instructions about how to use the GoHighlevel website slash funnel builder designer and creation tool. So this right here, again, is for people that are new to high level. Maybe you've never built a website. Maybe you don't understand how the builder inside of GoHighlevel works. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview. This isn't going to be like a super detailed how to build websites. I'm going to teach you about where things are, content structure, how things work, the building blocks that you need. And once you have that, then you can build whatever else you want. Anyway, let's hop into it and take a quick look. Okay, so here we are inside of one of my just demo test accounts. And right now what I've got here is on the left-hand side menu, I'm under sites here. If you take a look here, so if I go to sites, and from sites, you can access both the funnels and the website builders up in here. I'm just going to choose website, even though the funnel builder is the exact same designer tool, everything that you're going to be dealing with than the website. The only real difference between a website and a funnel is the structure. Websites have more independent pages that allow you to move back and forth, and a funnel is really meant to be very structured, take people from one step to the next step to the next step, like in a sales cycle. So funnels are typically used in sales cycles and or appointment bookings, something with a very specific point. You're trying to drive people to a specific goal. So anyway, just to give you a quick heads up there. Now, right now, I do want to show you just a couple things about the designer. There is the ability here to have folders. And we can also create new websites here. So right now, if you're creating a lot of different websites or things like that, you might want to start putting stuff in a folder to organize them. So that's just one way of doing it. So right now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on a new website, and you're going to see that we can either start from a blank or we can use templates. Now, this is a great point here. I'm not going to use a template right now, but I am going to show you what they are because they're a really great tool inside of Highlevel. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click continue just to show you what it's like. But there are hundreds of templates here inside of the GoHighlevel library, if that makes sense. Now, there are funnels for websites, and then there are templates for websites, and there are also templates for funnels. So keep in mind that they're different here, depending upon which one you build, because the structure is a little bit different. But anyway, here you see on the left-hand side, you can browse different categories, depending upon your niche that you want to target, or you can just simply come up here and search for it. So let's just say if you want to do doctor, it looks like there's none for doctor. Let's say dentist. So right now, if we do dentist, we have one dentist site right here. We can, again, choose a few things here, but I'm just going to quickly show you some of the things that you could do. Templates here are really meant to be a great starting block, okay? Sometimes they can be pretty dead on as far as what you're looking to build and what you're looking to design, but they can save you hours of time building stuff because they already give you a lot of the components pre-built. The only thing you have to do is go in and change a color, change a font, add something, do something to it without having to build the entire structure, which again, I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. But if you click on this little button right here in the top, that little eyeball type of thing, you actually get a look at what the template looks like before you actually install it. So here you have a logo, you have a little menu, book a meeting over here. Notice that's got like a little hop to it. So it's got like a little action to it. So right now you just try to take a look overall. Not bad. It's got a nice design. It's got claim your little $100 off your website, our story. So you see a lot of the stuff that has already gone into this, a lot of these white boxes, light boxes kind of thing, or text and images. Again, you could build this from scratch, but if this already has what you're looking for, then use the template and then customize it just to save yourself a lot of time. So again, keep in mind here, we got testimonials. So you see that this is just overall a pretty decent template to get using if you want to look at one. And we'll just come down here and just take a look at this one. And again, this little eyeball right here is what you're looking at here to actually look at it. So this again, logo. Notice we don't have a call to action button over here. So this is a little bit different, but again, this is for a different kind of niche. So again, we're a leading construction company. So this would be more that you would use for construction company services and things like that. So again, this is what the templates can offer you. Again, I'm not going to deal with the templates right now. I'm just going to sit back and start from scratch. So I'm just going to call our website just test for right now, if I could actually spell. So test, and then I'm going to click create. What this is going to do is going to just open up a blank sort of website. Nothing's been created yet. We haven't created any of the pages, anything like that. But what we do get is we get a few things up in here that I want to show you here. So this right here is pretty important with regards to just, pages. I really want to show you some of the settings, but if you take a look, you can get the stats of like how many people visit your website, the sales, if you do sell anything. So this has a great summary of all the sales, things like that. But right now, what I want to do is show you the settings area. That Highlevel makes it very easy to go in here and set the settings of any of your websites. So notice here, you can come change the name whenever you'd like. This is where you can actually attach a domain to it. So if you have a domain or you purchase a new one or something like that, you can actually connect the domain to this particular website here so that when you go to that domain, it will actually show this website. Right here is the path. And again, if you take a look, this is just the URL that gets sent whenever it loads. You can change that if you want to. The fave icon, that's just for right now, this YouTube right here, this little icon right here for YouTube, that's a fave icon. So you can put a URL there if you want to represent what icon you want. But the biggest thing right here is it makes it very easy. This head tracking code. This is what makes it very easy for you to do things like install and connect Google Analytics to your website. So if you do use Google Analytics, you just simply get the code, you simply drop it right here into the head tracking code, and then bam, it's now configured on Google Analytics, and it's literally just that easy. The next thing I want to show you here is the chat widgets. Chat widgets are a feature of the Highlevel platform. As a matter of fact, they're built in natively inside of it. Now, you can use the chat widgets externally on third-party websites, but you will have to copy some code. I've got another video on my channel if you're interested in that about how to do that. So right now, if you take a look at the chat widget, any of the chat widgets that we have configured, which we have two, right now it's a live chat and then a chat widget 2, I can simply select which widget I want to be displayed on this site to go live, and then that's what actually gets displayed. And all I have to do is choose it from the drop-down list. It's just that easy. Now, a nice thing here is the payment mode. Right now, notice that it's in live. So if you are going to be selling something on your website and you want to start putting your payment processor into test mode, you can just simply move it over here, and now it's in test mode. So now you could use like the fake credit card that's used in your processor to actually test purchases to make sure that your automations and your things work correctly. And then whenever they do, you can turn it back live again. And now the payments are actually live, and you will need a live credit card number. So these are just a few things that I wanted to show you here regarding the settings that I think are pretty cool and easy to access right off the bat. So right now I'm going to go ahead and click on add new page, and I'm just going to call this, for lack of a better term, just home. Now I can give this a path if I want to, or just leave it blank. I'm just going to go ahead and say create new page. Now what's going to happen here is, again, it doesn't create the page because Highlevel allows you to actually pull an existing page from another website or another funnel into this website if you wanted to. Now think about the power of that. Think if you've already built a website and you have a page, it could be a pricing page, it could be a sales page, it could be a home page. Yeah, and you just want to take that exact page and copy it into this particular website. You can do that very easy by clicking use existing. Here, you can actually choose whatever you want. So for here, I'm going to choose a website. This gives me a list of all the websites that are currently in this sub account. So I could choose the other website that I have, and from here, choose any page if I want to pull the home page. And then this is what the home page looks like. I can pull that home page and make a duplicate directly inside this website. Very quick, very easy. Now, this comes in very handy if you ever want to do like testing, troubleshooting, diagnostics, things like that. But one of the nice things that you can also do inside of Highlevel is you can completely clone or duplicate an entire website. And I'm going to show you that here in a little bit when we get back to the particular settings, but you can actually click on the buttons and actually duplicate that real quick. Now, you know what? Before I do this, I have a very bad habit of necessarily following up with that. So I'm going to just do that now. If you come over here and click on this, notice that you have some options on the website. I can edit it. I can clone it. So here I can clone it, meaning I can make a copy of it, move it to a folder, just organize it, move it to a folder, upload it, and I can actually make my own website template. Highlevel not only has template libraries, but you can actually edit and put templates into that library yourself for future use. Very cool, very easy for your clients in case you ever want to give them templates. I can share it. Now, this is an admin level feature, so I can share this and send a link and have somebody else import the site, or I can just simply delete it. So again, I just want to show you that to you before I forget to do that maybe a little bit later on. But right now you can pull existing page or you can create a blank page. Now, before I continue here, I'm going to just go ahead and create one more page so I can have this. And again, an awful speller. So contact us, and I'm just going to sit back and just, again, leave that blank, create new page. So here we go. We have 2 pages. And right now what I want to do is just simply start from the home page, and I'm going to create it from blank. Now, one of the things I do want to show you here before I create it from blank, you can't sit back and click on edit this. There's an edit feature that you can go to click on editing the page. And this right here is a preview link. So if you click on, that'll actually open up a new tab and show you what the page looks like before it even goes live. It'll show you what it looks like just so that you can see how it renders inside of a browser. So I'm going to create it from blank. So ultimately, here's the designer. Now, before we get started here, we need to start talking about how the structure of the page is actually built. So right now, the page level is the highest level object, if you will, inside of the builder. Okay, once you have a page, now pages have to have sections. Okay, sections. Then from sections, they have rows. From rows, they have columns. From columns, they have elements. Okay, so that's the structure, and each one of them are going to be very easy to spot, and they're all going to be color coded, but I just want to give that to you right now, because what I like to do is build one out and demonstrate what they look like and how you do. So right now, the first thing on a page you have to do is define a section. So you can do a full width section, which goes the full width of the page, wide, medium, or small, so you can actually control how it fits on the page, because there's sometimes you might want to build a website page that's not full width. You might want to have it just something very small in the middle, in which case you'd want to use this, but I'm going to use the full width. Now, the one thing about this, notice that the sections are green. And again, if you're using the builder, this is going to be very easy to spot. Anytime you hover over something and it comes up and it's green, you're dealing with the section. Okay, so inside the section, now you see the only other option that we have is to add a row. You click on this and we can add a row with 1 column, 2 columns, I'm trying to blow this up a little bit, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. Okay. So right now I'm just going to sit back and let's just choose a 2-column row. Now that we have this, I just want to sit back and show you, we have green section. We have a blue row. Rows are blue. Columns are this like little purple color. And then from there, we can add an element. Now, an element is orange. As you can see the button, it'll be an orange color around the shape of the object, but an element is the lowest level object that you can put in a page. So again, real quick, we have page, then we have section, then we have row, then we have columns, then we have elements. And elements are the lowest level object that go on the page. There's nothing else below it, if that makes sense. You can just simply add more and more elements. So that's one of the things I want to sit back and show you, but that right there is the structure of how pages are built. Now, what I want to do is be able to click on these add elements again, and I want to spend a little bit of time talking about these other elements that are on the left-hand side. So right now, if we take a look here, we have rows. If we take a look here at the elements here, sorry, let me back up here for just a second. I'm going to come over here and notice we have these options over here. We can expand. Before I go through this is a great thing before I forget here. You could drag this thing around and move that section below and move it up. So it's very easy to move sections. You can do this and just click clone. And when you clone, notice that now you have an exact copy of this one. So if I wanted to, I could drag this one on top of this one. That's what the drag feature is. And then if I wanted to, click the trash icon and just simply click trash and trash it. Now, some of the other things here, I'm going to go ahead and address some of these other icons. Notice that we have this up and down arrow. This right here will do something very similar to drag. It'll just move the section up one section or down one section, depending upon if you click the up or down button. So it makes it very easy to sit back and move. And I'm going to go and show you again if we click clone and clone. So now we have 3 of these sections. So I'm going to click the down and notice it's going to move to this one and the down. If I click down again, that really didn't show it very well here. Let's add just an element here. We added a headline here so we can actually see it. So if we click down, notice that now this section, that the element moved down. And if we click down, it goes down again. If we click up, you see the point. So this right here, the whole section moves up, but I just put this in here so we can actually see it happening. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, delete this section again. So again, it makes it very easy to build the frames of the page. And typically, if you've never heard the term, they're called wireframes. And wireframes are just the basic structure of your site. Do you want a video here, an image here? Do you want a button here? Do you want, what do you want on the page? So you need to lay out the design of how you want to build it. And then once you have that, then you can fill it in with all the stuff that goes in those. So that's typically what happens. Now, one of the things that you have is that inside of here, some sections you may actually want to save because some sections could be universally used. So you might want to take a section and then reuse it on pages over and over again. These are very good when it comes to headers and footers specifically. So if you have a header, you might want to use that header on every page inside of your website. Now, why is that the case? Because once you edit this particular header section, it changes the header on all the pages in the website. You don't have to go change them all manually. Now, in order to do something like that, you have to create what they call a global section. So here, if you click on that, notice that we have, I'm going to try to blow this up, but here we have these arrows, we have the settings over here, but I really want to focus on the save section. So if we click on save section, come back here. Now I can give it, I'm just going to choose header for this one and add to, there's a couple different sections on here. I can create a template from this one to reuse over and over again, or I can create a global section. Right now, I really want to make this a global section because inside the global section is where you have all the ones that become global to the entire website. So whenever one is changed, it affects the other sections on all the other pages. So now I can click on that, save it. And now if I wanted to, I can come here and switch between one page to another and add this to another page as well. So that makes it very quick and very easy to do. So now I'm going to come back over here and again, one of the things to notice is notice how the color on the section changes. So now that the section is no longer green, it becomes this darker purple. And that color represents a saved or global section. So when you see that, that's just a color coding that says, hey, this isn't a regular section. This is different. It's more of a saved or global section. So again, if you click delete, that right there is gone. And now it's deleted from the page. So if we come back over here and click on the add elements again, notice that we have the sections. And again, I just want to show you these sections, which we already talked about in depth. You have rows, and we already saw that. If you want to add rows, 1, 2, 3, elements. Now, here's the one thing that I added a headline element before, but elements are all the components that you can use to make up the website inside of the Highlevel system. So right now, if we take a look, we've got headline. I'm going to try to blow this up. Subheadline, paragraph. We can add forms, buttons, blog posts to this. We can add an image slider, video, photo gallery, an FAQ area. You can have custom code execute on this if you want to. So if you have code outside of Highlevel that you want to execute on here, you can actually do that if you want to. You can pull out a survey. All these things are available. Countdown timers, blocks, navigation menus, progress bars, and so forth. And you can even add social media icons and, of course, order forms. Why would you not have an order form if this is going to be a website? So Right now, these are the elements that Highlevel gives you to build your website. There are no other elements on here that you actually have. So over here, I just want to show you, this is your global section right here. Now notice I deleted the header section off of the page, but that didn't delete it completely. I can go back in and re-add this if I wanted to, and just pull this header section back down. And I'll show you that just here in a little bit. But this section templates, we don't have any, but if I chose on that save option from the global section templates, then this is where it would be. The widget marketplace, this is something that's relatively new. So if you want to add additional widgets into your page, you can potentially get some. There's free, there's ones that are paid that you can look at here, but now there's a marketplace where you can extend the features of your website beyond the elements that we talked about already. E-commerce, right now, this is an option. You can add a store to this particular website if you wanted to, and actually become a full e-commerce store with all the pages and all the supporting things that you need. But keep in mind, whenever you add this particular site, you can't remove it from the site, and you can only have one store per sub account. So just keep that in mind. Now, pre-built sections, these are some things that are nice because this is, again, another time saver. So if you have things like, if you have a welcome message or header or something like that, just simply use these. If you're talking about an about section, why build it? Just come here and just simply choose one of these, and you can add and just drag this over if you wanted to. If you have a team, right now, they have teams that you can just simply drag. And the templates that we talked about in Highlevel, the ones I showed you initially, these are really built using these sort of pre-built sections. So just don't try to do all this stuff yourself. Use some of the things that Highlevel's already giving you to make sure that you can build these websites just that fast. Okay. And again, just testimonials, products, if you want to have a product list or things like that. If you ever have this call to actions, so you see that there's just a lot of things in here that you can do. If you do want to have buttons, there's a button theme library here that you can choose if you like. Social media icons, you can simply have different ones that come in different colors, black and white, so forth. Countdown timers, I know this is a big one, but I don't have any in here for right now. Images, this is something that Highlevel does give you an image library that you could use for this one, and then progress bar, so you could drag. So these are just the different things that you have in here. So right now, what I want to do is come back to section, and let's just say if I want to add a section in here again, we'll add this. How about this? How about we want to come in here to the builder, and let's just say we want to come in here to sections and do global sections, and I want this header. So I just take the header and drag it back out, and notice that now I've got the header again. So you can do things like that very quick, very easily. So that's the features that we have over here on this side. Now I'd like to shift your attention over to the other side. Okay. So right now, once you click on a particular element, like this particular header, or let's just say we want to click and click on the row. Notice over here on the right-hand side, let me move myself here. Over here, we've got the settings that we can apply to the particular columns. So we have a general, we can give the element a particular name. We can adjust the padding, color, all these type of things. If we wanted to, we can actually create a video in the background. That's a great feature that was available. Highlevel actually does its own video hosting, by the way, if you didn't know. And the media library here is unlimited. There's no storage limitations on the media library, meaning all the places that you can upload images, videos, things like that. There is a 5 gigabyte size limit on each object in the media library though. But no, right now there's no limit as far as I know on how much you can have in your media library. So right now, if you did want to choose an image and you come down here and select the little option here, it does pull up your media storage, and notice I have a few things in here already in here, and you got your Google Drive connected. That's a relatively new feature that you could pull in from Google Drive if you wanted to. But right now, these are just the settings. Now I'm going to come here and just add, let me just add a button. So this is just a simple button. Now notice if I click on this particular area again, notice the color. We've got I didn't show you that before, just a nice orange color. And if you go over here, notice that now I could just simply change the color, make this button red. If I wanted to, I can change anything about it. I can make the fonts larger just by simply adjusting this, adjusting it back down. All the controls I need about that particular element of the web page can be done here, from the button alignment, the color option, from anything that you put of what the text is going to be to what the button action is going to do. Should I open here? If we take a look at the bottom, do I want to open the pop-up? Do I want it to go to a website URL? Do I want it to make a phone call and things like that, or send you an SMS message? There's lots of different options that you can do here. Again, the website builder is meant to be very open, and it does take a little bit of creativity. I'm going to be upfront here to understand how to put the page together. But again, this is where templates come in. Don't build stuff from scratch. Just look for a template that comes close, use it, and then delete all the components of that page you don't want to be able to build it very quickly. So again, all the settings right here on the right-hand side. Notice that you have a lot of animations. This is something that's relatively new that you can put in here. So if you wanted to fade down, if you wanted to come in from the right, if you wanted to slide up, all those kind of animations that you can think of are now available in any of the components that you have inside of the website builder. So again, all of the element properties that you need to set are going to be on the right-hand side over here. Anyway, that's where that is. One other thing I want to quickly show you here is the nice versioning tool. So if we do this, you know what, I can't really show you this. I haven't been saving these different versions But right now, the one thing I think is pretty cool is as you continue to build a website and you might have multiple website designers and builders, sometimes it might be nice to look at the different versions for this one here. And if you click on this one, you do get the versions of where things are, and then the ability to sit back. And if we take a look here, it's grayed out, but you can actually have the ability to restore a version. So let's just say you had a website a month ago, and then all of a sudden it was working, and then somebody went in and did something stupid. It happens. And they broke it or did something that's like, crap, I can't figure out what's wrong with this. Then you can actually go back to the site a month ago and restore that entire site back and make it active. Of course, all the changes are going to be destroyed since you did that, but you can actually restore it back to a previous version, which is pretty cool. So anyway, that's some of the things that we have here. Now, some of the things about the toolbar that I'll show you, we already used the add elements. If we look here, we've got different layers. So this is where, if we take a look at here, we can look, sometimes when you're dealing with the page, it's hard. I will have to admit sometimes it's hard to come in here and click on the particular row you may need. If that's the case, you can just simply come over here to the page view, to the layers, notice that it's under header, and you can actually dig into that particular section element and then come down to the actual property that you need, click on it, and then notice that once I do, that section is highlighted. So if you're having a hard time finding or like hovering over it and picking it for some reason, there is a layer button here that allows you to do that. And we'll talk about the pop-up here in just a minute. So right now, that's the layer. If you click on pages, this right here allows you to simply move between different pages. That's why I wanted to create a second page from the very beginning, because now you have a contact us page. You can click on that and take it over to this particular page. Notice that this page was blank. And notice also up here at the toolbar, this right here is another way that you can switch pages. Click on this one. If I click on this one and come over to home, come back to the page that we were working on. So right now, if you have any kind of a tracking code, this is where you can enter, again, the header tracking code. Again, you can also do it in the same area that I showed you before under settings for header tracking code. But if you wanted to put it here, you could. It also has footer tracking. So the same kind of thing that you have, you can access it inside of the web page instead of having to go outside of the web page back to the properties of the website to actually set that code. So right now, if you have any custom CSS, drop it in here. Again, what CSS is, it's code that can help change the way the site is laid out, looked, and designed. I'm not a CSS builder, but it does come in handy sometimes when you're trying to do some cool stuff to a website. Now, over here, if we keep going, the typography, this right here just allows you to set your fonts. In here, I'll just show you, you can pick what your headline or content font. So every time you create different contents or different headers, you don't have to go back and change the font on all those sections every time. You can set it at the page level here. Background, if you wanted to, you can adjust the background to be an image. You can give it a color if you wanted to. So that, again, is pretty cool that you can do that. Pop-up settings here. So this is just it. You're allowed to have one pop-up per website. One pop-up per website. Keep that in mind, not per page. So again, if we click here, the same kind of structure, notice that you already have a section defined in the pop-up. You can just simply click add a row, and then everything else after that, if I want to add a one row here, then I'm like, I add an element, exactly the same type of builder that we already looked at inside the website, but now you have it inside the pop-up. So you can create the pop-up, put a form on it, do whatever you want to, and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Now, right now, beyond the pop-up, if you're an SEO guy, this right here does have all the SEO settings. So you can create your content title, and also has some checkers for you and things like that. Description for it. You can add all your keywords here. If you wanted to add your social media icon of what it would look like socially, and then you actually get a preview of what your SEO preview would look like here once it showed up. So anyway, that's pretty cool. You can do that if that's something that interests you. So here, preview some of these custom codes. This is a new feature that I don't know if it's fully operational yet, but here's another one that definitely is beneficial, is your cookie consent. Now, right now, the websites, Google is actually ranking websites based upon, people who let people know that there are cookies present on a website. So right now, this right here is something that Highlevel built into their websites, which did not exist previously. And you can just simply turn this on and enable cookie consent here, just to let people know that the site does use cookies and so forth. So anyway, that is the builder. Give me a second here. So just had to go back out of it, I guess, and had a little freeze up. So if we come back into the website builder here, and again, we were almost done here. But if you simply take a look here, how do you want to sit back and look at this? We looked at the page button, but this is another one that's very valuable. This right here shows you the desktop mode, and this right here shows you the mobile mode. So this right here shows you what it would look like on a cell phone. This will what it looks like on a desktop. Now, one of the nice things about this is if you click on this, click on any element over here, and you come over here and click on advanced, there's always going to be this visibility. So notice if I want to do this, let's just say I didn't want some features to be available on the mobile. Let's just say for some reason you don't want people to purchase on the mobile or whatever that is. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but let's just say for some reason you didn't want that button on the mobile. You can just simply uncheck that. Notice that it went out, and now you only have the desktop view that's available. So if we go ahead and save this, again, it's just that right there just says we're saving something to a global section. And that means that it's going to change that global section on all pages. That's all it's saying. So right now, if we take a look here, we go to the mobile mode. Notice that the button doesn't show up. It only shows on the desktop mode. So that's just a cool way that if you want to build something specifically for desktop or mobile, you can change the way these things are viewed or display or not display certain things. And all the websites inside of Highlevel are responsive, mobile friendly, so you don't need to worry about that. They're all rendered correctly. Anything that you build inside of this designer will automatically display on a mobile device. This just allows you to take a look and see how that looks like, so that maybe you can adjust something later in the design build if you don't like the way things are laid out. So again, right now, just real quick, that's just the website funnel designer. That's some of the basic fundamentals and the building blocks that you need in order to start looking and building websites and funnels inside the GoHighlevel platform. Guys and girls, if you learned something here, learned a nugget, 2 nuggets of information, or hopefully a lot more, drop me hit the comment button, leave me a comment, because YouTube blows this video up when people interact with it, and that's what I need. I need your help to do that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button here. And my last plug, if you have not signed up for Highlevel and looking to sign up, I'm a Highlevel affiliate. Highlevel pays me whenever you sign up under my link. I do have a link in the description below where you get a 30-day free trial. It would really help me out if you sign up under me. It does compensate me. Also, I have a ton of things that I give you free bonuses. I have a community inside of Highlevel that you can join, that I'm here to support you whenever you have problems. I have just a ton of stuff that's going to help you get and accelerate to get your clients before you actually reach that end of that 30-day trial. So guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.